how's it going? My name is J-Statik and this is the Static Sessions. So today we're going to be doing a breakdown on Karan Aujla's song So Far, produced by me. I wanted to do this just to explain to you guys, where the inspiration came from, how we decided to get together and actually do the song, all that stuff. So let's jump right into it. Might as well tell you guys what it took to actually make the song happen. So first and foremost, the song, which just came out, I had this beat that was made in England. So I was sitting at my cousin's house and I just heard Tupac's Do For Love. And I was sitting there and I loved that bass line and I just forgot about it, but I heard the song randomly. I forgot where. And I was like, you know what? I don't want to take it because like using that, it's going to sound too R&B and doing all that stuff. And obviously you got like all your right stuff that you have to deal with. But what I did was decided to replay it, give it its own little variation and make something happen from it. So I took it and I used a simple sine wave from Nexus. So let's open that up so you guys can see it. Took a simple sine wave from Nexus, which is the basic sine in their bass section. And then I had another one, which was also a basic sine, really simple, layered the two together. So if you hear the first one, you got that's that. And then that was the high end one. Then I had a low end one as well. Now, if you guys can see, my computer is running at like 70% CPU usage. So this whole thing is still the mixed project file. It's crazy. So you might hear some glitches here and there. Happens. Can't control that. Computer is, is what it is. Until I buy like a $10,000 computer, you guys are going to be dealing with this kind of stuff. Come from me. So yeah, did that. Got that bass line. I loved it. And then I love the scratch that comes after that too. So I added those scratches in. Use my own that I found and I put them together and it sounds like this. That was that. For the verses, I decided to change it up a bit. I didn't want to keep having that same bass line play through, so I had this. Let's change this buffer size to give us some more space to play with. There you go. Hopefully this makes a difference. Much better. CPU usage is a little bit better. It's down to 40% now, so it should be a little bit better to use. So this is stuff you got to do on the fly. You never know. Sometimes you need, more CPU usage or less CPU usage. Change your buffer size. It'll work out sometimes. So that's the bass line. That's what I did there. Also had some chords because I wanted to kind of make it a bhangra type of song. So I threw in these clavinet chords. So looking at it, simple clavinet from Waves, easy to use. And then I had this Nexus 3 grand piano. I love the grand piano. It's not really used by a lot of people, but for this song, I thought it sounded really nice. So those are the main melody instruments which are in here. I'll continue on just going through the rest of the beat as well. So as you listen to the beat, you also notice that these trumpets come in. I found these trumpets or saxophone pieces on Splice, and I decided to chop them up and use the ones that I thought sounded the best. Really easy, sounds super nice, and it went with the song really well. So those were some of those pieces that I added in. Now, if I'm scrolling down, I have a couple of more Desi type of elements, so I'll keep showing you guys that. So first we have this. Mandolin tonica just goes throughout the entire song, gives it that little vibe. So I had this tumba that was played for one of Deep Jandu's songs. Took it, used it, thought it sounded really nice. And then I also had this. And that's from this arcade VST, which I think is awesome. I use it quite a bit, and it's really cool because you can change the scale and you can make it fit to pretty much any song. Really cool plugin. If you guys haven't used it, definitely use it. I use it. I think it just came out when I bought this. When I was making this beat, and it just fit perfectly. And it was better than using a splice loop because you get to actually play it and give it its own feel. So now going down, I didn't actually use this kick, so I'm going to delete this from here so you guys can see that. Instead, I use this pure sub trap kick, whatever it is. Added that thump in the background, especially at parties. It's going to pound, and that's what I need. So this is a combination of the thump in the sub was really cool, but I needed a kick that cut through. The kick that I had didn't actually cut through, so it was this. So what I did was I added a top end kick, which is this. Then I added a tambourine. And it's got like a hard attack on it. This hi-hat. More for the sound of the noise. And then all together it sounds like this. That was really well done. I thought that sounded really cool. Then I had this clap I found. So that's the clap that was added in, a little bit of a desi clap. Sounds really cool. Now, in terms of all the other layers, it's going to be a little tough to go through them all within this, but I'm just going to give you guys a breakdown of why certain layers were added. I've collected all these loops over time. So like anyone who sends stuff, we just collect the loops and kind of put them together just to give it that extra bounce that if I'm missing something or if someone ever needs anything from me, I have it sitting there. I have a ton of DJs too. We always share our loops and producers too. So it's really nice to have that access to that. As you're going through, you can see I had some claps and stuff like that. And then I had some dolki and dol loops. This splice loop was really cool. You would think it's a desi hi-hat loop, which is really nice. Then I have a little bit more added in. These are more dolkis and stuff like that. Really nice and easy. Then we also had Raginder come in, and so what happened when we were actually doing this whole song, me, Deep, Karan were in California shooting a music video or something while we were out there. Raginder at that time lived in LA. So while we were out there, called him out, and he came through and he laid down this violin while he was there. He was just sitting there playing some crazy riffs, and then he just killed it with this. Sounds dark, but it sounds so cool in the song too. And he did this little other piece, which was really nice. He can pluck on the guitar, on the violin. He's a dope-ass violin player in general. While we were out there, Karan was there, started writing, and then he just wrote the entire song. We had this whole thing done. Shout out to Deep as well, because he helped out while we were recording. He's really good at getting guys to bring out some good vocals. If you're a mediocre singer to an amazing singer, he can bring out the best in you, which I think is really hard to do. So this is the song. This is what the vocals sound like.
Out talking करदी too much मितदी फिरदी पैरा ना गच ते तो सामनी होया कुड़िए जट सी पूरा बैली नी टच कई पी गए अखियां चों दारू बार तेरा मुटियारे.
That's it. We had one major layer, and then we had doubles and stuff like that, which were left and right. If you're looking at these vocals and you're like, what the hell is going on with these? In general, because you'll see the left side has the actual layer. The mic we use a program called the Townsend Labs Sphere. So basically you get to choose if you want it to be, well, basically I'll show you right now. So
how talking करदी too much मितदी फिरदी पैरा ना गच ते तो सामनी होया कुड़िए जट सी पूरा बैली नी टच.
Basically what happens is it records this information within the wave, and then once you open up this program, this Townsend Labs Incorporated, you can change the parameters of that mic. So the polar pattern you can change what kind of filter it had, you can can change the axis, you can change the output, you can, do everything in post, which is really cool. I'd never used this mic before, but I didn't like the other mics they had, but this mic sounded really cool. So we ended up doing that for this. And in terms of processing, again, really simply, you guys seen my processing before. It's all about compression, EQ, compression, all the way down to the pretty much end where we start doing our, tweaking of brightness and making it sound out and alive out there. So yeah, that's the whole breakdown of the song itself. It was, it came together so fluidly. It was so easy to do. Now, when it came down to the individual layers, obviously I could go through all the layers of Dol, all the layers of Dolki, all that kind of stuff too. But finding loops, finding those samples, putting together, doing all that stuff is very important for yourself. For me, obviously through mixing, mastering, through working with artists, through working with producers, I've gotten a hold of a lot of stuff. Plus, I've given a lot of stuff to other people. I've given loops to a lot of these producers which are out there as well, because that's the only way you're going to get a hold and be able to make your own craft of your sound. So I think with adding in these layers of Dolki and making it sound heavy, it separates yourself from maybe sounding like Jatinder Shah, or separating yourself from sounding like Deep or any of these other producers that are out there. So definitely always, use your own judgment when selecting loops and try to get the best sound you can from them. When it came down to the hip hop portion of the song, there wasn't a big portion. It was more like a bridge. I just added like a simple variation of drum pattern. I didn't want to bring it too hip-hoppy down here. I wanted to keep it very trap hip-hop. So we had this portion that was over here. That's the hip hop portion of it. It's only for the bridge of the song. It does give it a nice break. It doesn't sound super repetitive, but that was the only real bridge in this song. Other than that, that is the end of this tutorial. This was pretty much the breakdown of how So Far went. It was really simple. It had a bass line, which was kind of like the melody of the song. You had your chords, which were really nicely put together for a Bhangra song. Added in some drums and some hi-hats and some claps and some all that kind of stuff, plus dolkis, some rhythmic percussive melody patterns like the tumba and the mandolin, and then we had the vocals that sat on top with the violins for the piecework, and we were good to go. So if you guys had any questions about this, if you want to give your 2 cents on what you think could have been better, or things that you thought weren't the way you wanted them to be, please put them in the comments. Let me know, definitely. Other than that, please make sure you guys do subscribe, comment as much as you can, hit that bell for future notifications. And until next time, I'll see you guys soon.